Well, that's a way to start the podcast. So, what's been on your mind?
Why don't you lead now, Leo?
J.K. Haru is a sex worker, is a new isekai with a female lead.
And it is what you think it is. She does. And, oh
because that is her superpower. Her superpower is to go ahead and copulate with demons. And upon ejaculation, she receives magical powers.
So this is a hentai?
No, this is a light novel.
It is a light novel.
And I went through the first chapter because I needed to see what kind of characters we were looking at. Because you can tell a bad story with good characters.
And I thought Made in Abyss's later chapters left the bad taste in my mouth.
This is the first chapter. And,
I mean, they do the typical, people die, get sent to the isekai. The twist, the setup is that Haru's friend is the chosen one, and so he gets all the nonsense.
The problem is she didn't... Well, besides the thing that I don't think she finds out about...
She finds out about her sex powers much later, and is basically led to believe that she got jack diddly squat. And then we find out about the world.
The world is incredibly misogynistic.
Incredibly misogynistic.
Like, oh, god damn it.
Okay.
Let me put it this way. They are emulating certain... She cannot go out at night. She cannot go eat in public without another person, without another dude with her. We're talking that kind of misogynistic.
So, practically the Middle East.
Practically.
By conservative estimate, yeah.
Okay, so quick question. Is the writer male or female?
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't.
Well,
there's about I think 8 volumes last time I checked.
Okay, word of advice, don't read this thing. It sounds like utter garbage.
Oh no, read at your own discretion. Honestly. If you want to jump into it, I will not stop you or anti-endorse it.
I mean,
but you should know what you're getting into.
I should reiterate this for Reido's recollection. This is the first isekai with a female lead. As an actual female. None of this, what is the name of the Nazi lolly from that one series?
Tanya.
Yeah, this is no Tanya bullshit, where it's actually, she's a chick in that world, but she's actually a 40-year-old salaryman. No, actual female protagonist, and this is the foot you lead it with.
Yeah, good to see.
Granted, this is, could you actually pull this off with a male lead?
No! You could not!
No, but the question is, should you?
Yes.
Yes. And that is always a question of should and should not.
Yeah.
Hello, we are the Stardust, this is the Shooting Starcast.
With the Stardust Hunters. I'm Reido.
I am Leo.
I'm Legend Hunter.
Okay.
And
Legend, aside from the horrible, horrible realization of J.K. Haru is a sex worker, how has your week been?
Well, I've been busy going into growing things, and not in that way, you pervert. No,
You're cultivating horticulture.
Yes, I'm actually growing a few plants, and I came to the realization that Venus flytraps, A, do not make good pest control for gnats, and B, are more temperamental and freaking hard to grow than freaking any other plant that I've had to deal with.
keep in mind, they're native to the Carolinas. We live in Texas.
Mm-hmm. I can
the dry part of Texas.
That really doesn't matter to me. I mean, all you have to do to mitigate the atmosphere problem is spritz them. So they don't really need that much. The problem is the fake news surrounding them.
Like, you don't need to do anything to them, just let them eat the flies?
Well, you need to fight... I can sum up the 2 problems for Venus flytraps in 2 phrases. The first is to keep in mind that they are all homesick for the Carolinas. So you need to make them as comfortable in their little pot as possible. Make sure that it's an insulated pot so their roots don't burn. Make sure that it's peat moss that doesn't have any shit in it. And I mean fertilizer. You don't want it or it will burn.
Yeah, here's the thing. Venus flytraps can't absorb nitrogen through their roots.
They don't absorb nitrogen through their roots.
That's
They
why
burn!
That's why they're carnivorous.
Every single fucking piece of soil type that I was looking for was from Lowe's, and it was Miracle Grow, which always has fertilizer!
Best bet, just make your own compost.
I'll have to at some point. Or order it online. I know there's some specialty stores. But that's part one of why they're such a pain in the ass. The two is just the sheer amount of misinformation. I ran into, when I went to go pick up my replacement plants,
Oh yeah, because you bought one for $1 and it was dead.
it was dead on arrival. R.I.P. So I went back to the store, and I'm there, and I'm going ahead and brushing up before I make the purchase because I want to be absolutely goddamn sure that this thing will not die on arrival. Again. Audrey needs to live. I have a certain person I need to throw into it later.
You named your pepper Artorias, Artie.
Yes, on the day that I fought and killed Artorias for the first time ever.
Yeah.
This one, I could just call it Audrey, but I'm thinking on naming it Freckles. Depending on how well it grows. If it grows.
Alright.
But I'm there, I'm at Lowe's, I'm studying up, and I look up, and I see some people looking at the plants that I'm looking to try to buy. Oh joy, time to go have a little conversation. So I go ahead and talk to them, and I ask them a few little questions like, oh, so you're looking to buying one of these? And they're like, yeah, this is our third time. Third time? Holy crap. And so they say, yeah, we're doing this for our kid. He likes these things. And I go, okay, what did you do about water? And they went, oh, well, we just watered it every day. And I'm like, well, number one, you don't want it to soak. And number two, they're really, really fucking picky about what kind of water they drink, because if there's any minerals in it, they will die. And it was at that point that the wife smacked her husband across the shoulder and went, I told you! Which amused me, and then they walked off. I then picked up my plant, went back home, found a beetle on the ground, and proceeded to sacrifice it. I kind of felt like a kid again watching that. I don't blame them for wanting to pick up one of these things.
For their kid.
Yeah, like, holy shit, those things close fast. It's fantastic.
Alright, anything game-related you did?
Game-related, I recently borrowed Persona 5 from this fellow right here.
Yo!
In celebration of Joker's release in Smash.
We'll get to that.
Well,
in the news, but yeah.
It's there, and there's more to it. We'll get to that more stuff, but I do want to say I played Persona 5. I'm playing Persona 5. Sorry. And I have to say, I am probably one of the worst players who ever lived on this thing. I keep dying in the first dungeon for a good week, and then I get out, and I don't know. Like, there's a lot that I love about this game. Its style is just fantastic.
I'm just going to let you know, the 4th dungeon is probably the best.
But I haven't gotten there yet. I'm still in the 2nd.
Yeah, you're in Madarane's glittering gold art gallery.
Which actually is a fantastic thing. The whole design of this game, fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
And Joker's inclusion in Smash is probably the worst thing that ever happened to me.
We'll get to that.
We will get to that. Aside from that, no, nothing new in my news. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the baton.
Shall I go ahead and go?
Fire away.
Because I got a list.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I wrote a list so I could keep all my thoughts straight.
All right, you want to bridge it?
For starters, and to go off of the horrible thing you were talking about with your isekai,
Yeah.
I was reading the latest chapters of Made in Abyss.
Oh, how'd that go?
Disgusting.
Well, you are talking Eldritch Abominations.
Oh, I'm talking about complete and utter body horror Cronenberg.
Oh, joy.
Yeah.
Okay, how close to Akira are we talking?
Okay, little girl absorbs this relic, starts mutating and molding into a giant thing that is constantly giving birth because she couldn't give birth.
So it is Akira.
Yeah, and she's giving birth to these weird little animal things and growing into this giant tower that eventually becomes this giant city.
Akira with a dash of cars.
Yeah.
Fuck!
And
I'm thoroughly disturbed.
oh yeah, it gets fucking weird. And then people sacrifice their humanity and stuff to become monsters in this area.
Well, I mean, it is eldritch horror, so
Yeah, I legitimately wanted to puke at the end of where I got.
fun.
Yeah, so moving away from that,
Okay.
Yes, by all means.
I started working on a comic.
Huzzah!
Less eldritch abomination than that.
Less.
You except for the deuteragonist.
Yeah, except for the deuteragonist. Okay, so it's a story basically involving my werewolf character and his magical half-goat, half-rabbit teacher who may or may not be a demon, but has lived for millennia and decided to become his magic teacher on a fucking whim.
Neat.
And I'm working on the 5th page as we speak. It's going alright.
All right.
Other than that, I also open commissions. Aside from that, I might as well talk about games.
All right.
So, how long, blah, 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 how have you been doing in Sekiro?
Oh, I should mention that I beat Sekiro already.
Huzzah!
I'm playing New Game Plus.
Double huzzah!
Now I've heard that there isn't really much of a difference outside of the enemies hit harder.
They hit harder, you take more poise damage. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Dark Souls 2 still has the best New Game Pluses.
Oh, but you do keep all the items and everything, so I amassed a huge amount of coin purses and stuff like that before that, so I could just buy everything all over again. And I now have every single upgrade because you need to go through 2 playthroughs to get through, to get all the lapis lazuli needed.
Okay.
Because I needed to fight the Demon of Hatred twice.
How'd that go?
First time fighting him in the regular game was hard as hell.
Alright.
Second round, I cheesed him. I got him stuck between a cliff and a tree.
Yep. That is a well-known exploit now.
I am the embodiment of the entirety of Japan's hatred during the Sengoku Jidai era. I will not be stopped. Why can't I move?
You're being stopped by a tree.
Yeah,
You can lash forward, but then it'll just get around you, smack your face a bit. You jump up, I back off, and grapple up to your head and smack you again. You start getting bitchy, I whistle with my finger whistle and make you groan in pain.
But I'm important and shit. Come on.
Yeah. So right now I'm dealing with the ultimate boss of this game, Sword Saint Ishin.
I actually left a little comment on one of the videos for Ishin's theme. And it's currently at over 300 likes. It's the Harry Potter quote that says, "Be wary of an old man in a profession where men die young."
Yep. Immortal words to live by. Immortal words to live by.
That's pretty goddamn on point, because this guy is amazing and bullshit. I was actually fighting him just before the podcast. And first time fighting him, while I was waiting for Legend to show up, I got into his final phase with the lightning and bullshit, and I ran out of healing items.
Wah, wah.
Second time fighting him, I had beaten Genichiro, no hits.
Awesome.
First form of Ishin, no hits.
Holy shit.
Then I got bodied, killed, and accidentally hit the death button in a panic.
Not your saving grace there, is it, Reido?
No, and I'm going to say this right now, if, and that's a big if, we ever Let's Play Sekiro, I'm calling an accidental hit of the death button a mulligan.
I'm alright with that, although I'm wondering how much of the bosses we should cheese. Because there's at least 2 you can do that way.
Yeah.
Actually, I take that back. 4 you can do that way.
Oh, you know what?
Because
I am cheesing the true corrupted monk. I am cheesing that fucker.
yeah, I mean that one.
Because that makes that fight fun.
No, that's just funny.
Yeah. It's funny, and honestly, fighting him then is really enjoyable for me.
Yes, as opposed to fighting the illusion.
Oh, yeah.
Although even the illusion actually can be cheesed out relatively quickly.
Snap, snap, snap.
Ouch.
Firecracker.
Careful, you're peeking Mike.
Sorry.
Alright.
But I mean snap seeds.
Yes.
There you go.
You got anything else?
Let's see. I downloaded the Joker season pass, the whole season pass for Smash,
And got Joker.
and got Joker.
Okay.
And I also got Final Fantasy IX on my Switch, which technically I also have it on my PS4, but I'm enjoying it more on the go on the Switch.
Good. All right.
I'm cheating like a motherfucker in that.
How are you cheating like a motherfucker?
Oh, when you pause the game, you can press the L and R buttons to make the game go fast, but doesn't speed up the timer for like countdown things. It just makes everything else go fast.
So it boosts your ATB without boosting everything else?
Yeah.
Huh.
And boosts your movement speed, but like the actual countdowns for like important events, they go at regular speed.
Gotcha.
I also activated the 999 cheat.
So you're hitting max damage?
Yes, so I can grind.
Okay.
I only do it for grinding. I don't do it for boss fights.
All right.
And there's also one that basically is battle assistance, which will, if you do it in battle, will automatically heal you and put everyone in the trance.
Huh. That's good.
And then there's also a button to say no encounters in general.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
And these are true cheats, or these are just improvements they've added into the menu?
It's something for the PC version where you hit the pause button and you hit the button to the L and R buttons to activate them.
Okay, that sounds kind of like debug, but I'm not too sure.
It's kind of a debug.
Okay.
But it's in the PS4 version, it's in the Switch version.
I guess they allowed it then.
Yeah, so I've been enjoying it. I just kind of wanted to burn through to where I could never get past because I only ever rented the damn thing as a kid.
Yeah, that was the fate of many 90s kids.
Yeah.
You remember those days, Legend?
Like going to the
Blockbuster?
Back when Blockbuster was there and wasn't dead?
How about when the neighborhood Walmart was the Blue Sage and it had that movie theater, that movie rental place?
Oh yeah, they had that too, right?
They did.
Yes.
I never could get Sparkster.
You
got?
That's everything on my list.
All right. I did a couple of things. I also have a list as well.
Fire away.
Okay, so I picked up Borderlands 2 from the Handsome Collection since Borderlands 3 was announced. I figured I would give it a shot after just seeing, maybe I just need to actually work my hands to get used to shooters. And so far it's been pretty fun, even if I do die a couple of times because the game has a second chance mode where you enter a last stand. And if you kill something, you get a revive. And it's always that whenever I get knocked down, it's always by the last opponent. So there is no one around to revive with. And so it just gets annoying. And so I just have to get used to that.
Fair enough.
I played Elder Scroll Blades.
You played the app game.
Yeah, I decided, you know what? Let me see what Todd's doing. And Todd is not holding up to his promise. This is not the true Elder Scrolls experience. This is Elder Scrolls... The wait and see game.
Oh God, are there microtransactions?
Microtransactions up the butt.
Ooh.
So it is definitely another one to toss in the trash. Don't expect it to get any better anytime soon.
Yeesh.
Even the combat was just like, ugh. It would be very repetitive, and it was basically down to who was hitting with bigger numbers.
Question: did it play better than Infinity Blade?
Actually, I would say it played worse. I remember playing Infinity Blade much earlier in time, and at least my memory says that one is better.
Oh yeah, Infinity Blade was kind of fun back then.
Yes, even if it also suffered from the waste of the grind.
Oh yeah. But that's kind of how they got you. But at least that game didn't seem to have some major bad microtransactions.
It looks more like a polished up Oblivion than anything that Skyrim has.
I do have something that I'd like to bring up for the three of us to try getting into. This is probably going to derail us completely, so be advised. Chugga Conroy has recently been doing his Phantom Hourglass playthrough, and he mentioned something while he was going through one of the more backtracky sections that kind of got me thinking.
Yes?
What if Phantom Hourglass was ported over to the mobile circuit?
Considering that Nintendo was holding on to it, it wouldn't be bad. The problem is if anyone else had a handle on the license.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in terms of mechanics, it's completely touch-based controlled.
Yeah, or like if you accidentally run out of time in the Temple of the Ocean King, spend $2 to add 2 minutes to your time.
Fuck that. But it is an option that
Or
Nintendo
a gotcha mechanic to get all the shit parts.
that could be there so long as I didn't pay money for it.
Oh wait,
No, you would have to pay money. That was the entire point of it.
That's the entire point of a gotcha mechanic.
Or here's a terrible one.
Aye.
Wind Waker, purchase your map pieces to go ahead and find the to find the Triforce parts.
Or how about just purchase maps to get random treasures in the ocean?
Or that, which isn't. I don't mind it when it adds variety or variableness, but when it becomes nonsensical is where I take an issue with it.
Okay.
It's something like Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links does something very similar, where you get packs off of the free loot, which adds versatility. But because you can never buy your cards outright, it is always down to random, and always the rare stuff is going to be the stuff that you need to be competitively viable. So it's just a typical Yu-Gi-Oh! Problem.
We'll get into some other Yu-Gi-Oh! Problems later.
Yes. Cuphead for the Switch came out, and along with that, patch 1.2, which, in addition to just amping up some things, made some hidden bosses into the game.
Ooh.
For the Switch version?
No, for all versions.
Oh.
So, for example, one of the earliest fights in the game is the vegetable patch.
Yeah.
Right.
And so the typical fight is against the spitting potato, a crying onion, and the hypnotic carrot. That's good for your eyes. If you decide not to attack the onion, he is thankful that you don't beat him up, and he disappears entirely. Instead, a radish takes its place during the carrot phase and is spinning all along the floor while the carrot is doing his attacks. So it doesn't just add a new element to a fight, but it does so in an entirely different phase. So the third phase is now considerably harder than the second leading into the third.
Well, I'm going to keep killing that onion then.
But you won't be able to ever find the turnip or the turnip in that way.
And you won't be able to get, like, say, an achievement for it.
I don't know if there is an achievement for it, but it is a new way to have that encounter. The genie boss, I believe it is the opera singer who is in a wedding.
Okay.
Have alternate boss phases depending on, not in the case of the opera lady, not attacking her in her first form. She actually gets shipped off to a nunnery if you don't attack her in her first form.
Which is kind of funny.
Which is kind of funny because she was originally at the altar. And the genie, if you play as Mugman, as the second player, it changes the puppeteer into a smaller puppet that interferes in the third phase of the boss fight.
So, if you wanted to make an already pretty challenging game even harder,
Blaze Bugman.
No.
show mercy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Data miners also found an unused mini boss for the Dice King roulette table that is based off of Patchaslot.
The fuck?
Well, a Pachika machine.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck.
But
Yeah,
it was not implemented.
Yeah.
So it only exists as a prototype. You could still fight it and beat it if you activate the files, but it is not a true boss fight. So
Have you actually seen, like, the Dice Kings fight?
Of course, I've seen the entire game from beginning to end.
Okay.
So that's it. Basically, he would have taken one of the spaces, either as a rotating or as a new slot, in the board somewhere.
Yeah, as an encounter if you landed on it.
I believe that's all of the hidden bosses that I remember seeing from the video.
Is there anything for Werner Vermin?
No. Werner Vern doesn't have any new phases that I'm aware of.
Dang. He's one of my first favorites.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There's also Reido and I went to our local Comic-Con last week.
How'd that go? I was unable to due to obligations.
Lots of cosplayers.
Of course, but what else is new?
I saw 3 furries in fursuit.
Ah, okay.
There was also what is it called? SCA. So it was the Anachronist Society. The Anachronist Society.
Okay, and
The guys who they basically do HEMA type fights, but with armor and sticks,
which is awesome.
as opposed to dulled weapons.
Which is okay.
There was a guy there who was promoting ADHD the game, which is shorthand for all hands are disaster, which is basically it is a dual screen, 2-handed
Game?
it's shoot 'em, 360 shoot 'em.
Yeah.
So think about like a Geometry Wars, except that one side of the screen you're playing Galaga, the other side of the screen you're playing Geometry Wars,
And you're playing both at the same
and you're
time.
playing both at the same time.
Yeah, one half of the controller controls that game, the other half of the controller controls the other game.
Yes.
ADHD the game.
Yes.
Oh.
And they're a local group.
Yeah, no, the dude who it's a one man's project.
Yeah.
He is local. He spent 5 years making this game, and they are on Kickstarter. Not Kickstarter. Sorry, they're on Steam Greenlight. So they should be coming out sometime soon to go ahead and have that fully published.
Best of luck to him.
Along with that, we had some of the Power Rangers show up. We had
we had
Jason David Frank, Steve Cardenas, Johnny Young Bosch, as well as Bulk and Skull.
Nice.
Yeah. Leo, you know what? We should have stayed for a little bit.
Why?
Because
I stayed until like 8.
No. I mean for the Power Rangers interview, we should have stayed there for a little bit because they were doing a photo.
Yes.
And Johnny Young Bosch posted it on his Twitter, and I saw the back of your head.
Holy shit.
Oh well.
Yeah, because I had long left the room. You were behind me.
Right.
And I saw the back of your head just as the photo was taken. And it's
well.
Yeah.
You can play Where's Waldo without knowing who Waldo looks like.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
We also saw like a lucha libre.
Yeah, there was a local wrestling promotion that I actually dragged Reido to go see because he'd never seen lucha libre before.
How'd that go?
I actually enjoyed it, surprisingly.
Yes, we
good.
watched the Trash Can go against
like the Aztec
Warrior and
some other masked dude.
I think it was like El Tigre or something like that.
The Adventures of Manny Rivera.
It was some iteration of Animal, but either way, it was a fun 3-way match.
And of course, the Trash King ended up winning.
Well, you gotta give some heat to the heel. It was fun because at one point the Trash King was choking someone on the ropes, and I yell out, "Are you trying to choke him out or give him a massage?" Which gets him laughs from the crowd. And you know what he actually responds to me?
Yeah.
The Trash King is multitasking.
Oh, and then they bring in.
They actually brought in the trash can to go ahead and empty onto the wrestlers mid-fight.
Oh, so there was like trash
all over the mat.
Oh, God.
There
was nachos, chips. There was
canned sodas, drinks.
Yeah,
it was kind of hilarious.
Oh no!
Yeah, it. You know what?
They even took a couple of spots outside of the ring, which I thought was impressive because they didn't have mats laid out.
Yeah.
So it was a good show, all in all.
And you know what? I'm not a fan of wrestling, but I can see why you enjoy it.
Yes.
It's good fun.
You turn off your brain and you have some fun.
Well, yeah, I was enjoying myself.
All right. Let's get into the news.
Yes. So we were talking about this earlier, but Joker... Well, Smash Ultimate version 3.0 was announced and released.
Yes. How about we all give our thoughts on Joker, the character, and how he plays?
Yes.
Starting with Reido.
I like him.
Uh-huh. Why do you like him?
Because he plays like Lucina.
It's like an interesting mix of Lucina and Robin.
All right.
Which basically confirms that pairing, doesn't it?
No, it does not.
Yes, it does.
I don't call it.
It's Lucina Robin as raised by Bayonetta.
Well, and whose
Joker's parents
and whose adopted brother is Sakamoto.
Well, I can
and Kirby.
Believe that. Kirby, he eats everyone.
He has some very interesting moves. I think the one that I saw from Alpharad the most was that his You can do, I think it is up tilt into down air to go ahead and spike.
Holy
Also,
crap.
you can gimp with aerial guns to gimp opposing jokers in the mirror match, because he will get hit by the bullets and fall out of his grappling hook if he doesn't have Arsene.
Yeah.
The Arsene thing actually lasts a really long time. I think about 25-30 seconds.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a lot, but
In a Smash?
No, in a Smash term, that is quite a bit. I mean,
it is.
install triggers like that are notorious in fighting games for being really good,
Yeah.
which is why they are often used. So having that in Smash is going to be very interesting. I'm more curious to see how it's going to affect the competitive scene.
And his Aha, which turns into Egha.
Okay, so I have a thing about that.
Yeah.
In addition to the fact that everyone does not know French,
Yeah.
because they call him Arsene instead of Arsene, because that's the proper French pronunciation,
Yeah.
everyone is calling that move Yeehaw. Joker is now Texan.
Yeehaw, motherfucker.
How to do, partner.
You know,
Shoot you up.
Show's over, folks.
Here's the thing. We can do this without being a complete jackass because we're locals.
Yes.
Yes, but we don't talk like that all the time.
No, only when we're putting it up for shits and giggles.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are.
And
You haven't heard my thoughts on it.
Yes, I was about to say, now your thoughts, Legend.
Okay, so I'm going to state for the record that I am the only one out of the three of us that has not played Joker. But I still have thoughts to share about Joker as the person who had to fight it.
As the person who got wombo comboed by him.
Absolutely.
Ad nauseum.
Yes, thank you both very much for that experience. So I can tell you right off the bat that the speed is one thing that really surprised me. When you're facing up against this guy, he's basically Fox, but with better ranged attacks that... Well, he has a lot of Fox's moveset, but it behaves a little bit like an extended Ness to me. Like, I can see a lot of, like, mixing and matching going on with the way his moveset works.
Yeah, especially since Aha and Egha both do creep damage after getting hit.
Which is fine. I don't mind that whatsoever. But again, the speed and the ability to combo off of each move into the other, it's kind of ridiculous to go up against, but I can also say there's moments where I've seen players online trying to use Joker and they're not taking advantage of his fucking counters.
Yeah.
God damn it! You've got Arsene! You can set it up! He's doing aerials, you numb shit! Use your freaking counter!
Yeah, well, the thing is, his counters don't activate until you have Arsene out.
Otherwise, it's more like a revenge, a revenge skill.
Yeah.
Even then, you should know!
Yeah, because his down, I believe it's his
Down B.
His down B, when he doesn't have it, will only half any damage he takes and boost the rebellion meter.
Though if you hold it and then release it on the proper timing, you do get a slight back attack.
Yeah,
But it's a little bit harder to pull off than something like Incineroar's Revenge.
Which is okay, and it also gives you options if you've got skill.
Mhm.
So why aren't people getting the skill for it? I just don't... I don't know. It's like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I see the potential for a character to make it to the end, but I've also seen him fail there. So, aside from the salt, I'd say he's a pretty good character.
aside from the salt.
Oh yeah, he's a fantastic character in Persona 5, where he belongs.
And nowhere
Get him
else.
out of Smash so I can have fun again.
And
You don't
nowhere-
even have Smash Ultimate.
I have been playing with you all, and I'm going to be going to another tourney this Sunday, so fuck.
Oh, you are?
Well, you could call it just a little
the
meetup.
family, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, prepare to get your ass kicked by your sister.
I've already prepared.
The kowtowing has commenced.
I don't kowtow.
Anyway.
In addition to that, the main other feature that there were some other features that released that we won't go into. Clip Maker, Video Maker, and the online system for the Smash community on Nintendo Online has come out,
as well as Stage Builder.
as
Yeah.
well as Stage Builder, which
And they've already gotten creative with that.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
because-
let's go into that.
Let's see.
Or not. How do you want to do this?
Let's not.
Okay, let's just say someone... Yeah, never
The
mind.
Rule 34 community is alive and well.
Oh, yeah, especially in my community.
So
I'm going to look forward to Nintendo throwing the hammer down.
Oh, they're
on
already
that.
starting that.
yes.
Though I'm also a little bit disappointed because some of these are just like, how did you even do that?
I mean, some people I think the most creative one that I've seen is they've actually created the opening scene from Smash 64 where it's on the desk.
That is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some other ones where it's just Aqua shaking her butt from Konosuba.
And the butt is, in fact, a moving platform.
Yep.
That's just peachy.
You think they could have chosen a better waifu because it is...
Oh, absolutely, they could have chosen a better waifu, but that one's hilarious.
They could have chose none at all.
But where's the fun in
I
that?
think the only ones who are relatively stable are Wiz and Megumin's rival. And even then, Megumin's rival is pretty out of whack.
Because she deals with Megumi.
Well, because she wants to be someone and suffers from loneliness.
Aw.
No. Anyway.
Let's go to the next thing. We have Nintendo wants to do
You skipped over one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sony's PlayStation 5, whatever it's going to be.
Backwards compatibility! Because we actually want to make money! God damn it!
Well, for one, they don't have they don't have the same person in charge anymore, so maybe this one actually has a goddamn brain.
So,
yes!
So details about the PS5 have been leaked in advance of Sony not showing up to Evo. Or, sorry, not Evo.
E3.
E3.
I think this was an interview?
Yes, this was an interview with one of their lead designers behind the PS5. They tout at least 8 new the PS5 being an 8-core system, as well as improved graphics and sound cards for providing surround sound when you're using headphones.
So it looks better, sounds better,
Plays better.
and
it has
play
a
your
solid
games.
state hard drive in it.
Which is very useful because that means things will be loading up faster. Although I question the capacity of it.
Oh yeah, it needs to be at least 2 terabytes.
Because now we're just getting stupidly large games right now.
Which I'm looking forward to.
One of the things they did note, and you mentioned this, Legend, is that it is backwards compatible, and it is much stronger than even the PS4 Pro.
Which means I'm going to be seeing a lot of used PS4 Pros on the market.
And use PS4s.
As a matter of a comparison, they showed load times between Spider-Man for the PS4 on a Pro and using it on a 5. The Pro takes 15 seconds to load. The 5 was 0.8 of a second.
Holy shit.
So,
almost instantaneous.
Almost incredibly more powerful than the original. Or than the last generation.
New CPU, new GPU, able to deliver unprecedented visual and audio. Let's see.
So the
And
question,
it's being delivered by Sony, who have great history with their third-party developers.
I mean, better than the other two alternatives.
Last year's Red Dead Redemption 2 clocked a horse-choking 99 gigabytes.
For the PS4.
It no longer...
The longer it takes to do just about everything. We are quoting this from, who's the writer of the article?
This is from the Wired article by
Peter Rubin.
Peter Rubin.
Okay, so according to Peter Rubin...
Let's see. Same goes for fast travel and characters transport. Let's see. Solid-state drives have been available on budget laptops for more than a decade, and on the Xbox One and PS4, both offer external solid states that claim to improve load time, but not all solid states are created alike.
Right, so we'll just have to see how it works, but if this is how they're opening, it's promising.
Yeah.
I always take a wait-and-see stance when it comes to these, because there is always the potential for it to get patched out, like they did with the PS3.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, they're even claiming that they'll support 8K graphics. And I'm like, nothing can handle 8K graphics at the moment.
Do we even have 8K TVs? I've never seen them.
We barely have 4K TVs.
So
Jesus Christ. How about instead of trying to shove as many pixels onto a screen as possible, how about actually make it so things can run and use them?
Or how about just make the games good?
Yeah.
Well, so long as we got that, we're good. We're good with just okay games. Well, no, we're not. Better than okay games.
I would.
Functional.
I think your first phrase was correct because the PS2 had a. You know how large the PS2 library was.
It was fucking disgusting how big it was.
But it had the variant. It had the God tier. It had very good, and then it had a plethora of different B tier games that would cater to everyone's whims.
Mm-hmm.
So having more okay games would be better because it means that we wouldn't be waiting for the AAA releases all the time. We would have some independents that would be able to go ahead and soak up some more of the limelight and keep people interested.
Yeah.
Because mainly it's just we've been jumping from one big hit release to the next. Before it was Sekiro, it was DMC5. Before it was DMC5, what was it?
It was Resi 2 Remake.
Resi 2 Remake.
And before that, it was Kingdom Hearts 3.
So there you go. It hasn't been... There hasn't been enough of a showcase for the smaller developers and the smaller games.
Yeah.
You could call the PlayStation the AAA title console.
Pretty much, because nothing is happening on Xbox One.
Well, and what is happening on Xbox One you can get on PS4 anyway.
Yeah,
so it's up to a matter of interpretation.
Yeah, so you either find your indies on Steam or Nindies on the Nintendo.
And even if you want Microsoft, then just you get a gaming PC and you get the better of the two deals.
Yeah.
Yep.
Going back to what I was originally saying, the story I thought was next. Nintendo Labo VR kit is going to be released in the near future.
And it supports both Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey.
Oh, God.
So,
Breath of the Wild in goddamn VR. That's okay. But if you're
how many
including...
people are going to pause that one scene where Zelda's looking for bugs.
Oh, you bet that thing's going to go viral.
Yep. And then...
I don't think that's the sound people make when they do that.
No, it's ham sandwiches. The rapid assembling of ham sandwiches.
There you go.
Mario Odyssey, on the other hand, I think that's a safe bet.
Have you tried? I'm trying to imagine it. Are you talking about like it's VR and you're still in the third-person view, or are you doing a first-person Mario for the Mario in Odyssey?
It would be first-person Mario a la Mirror's Edge.
Oh fuck no!
I mean,
if you're doing a 1-to-1 interpretation of that,
and how does that work with Cappy?
And how does that work with
Possession?
No, not this. How does that work with the 2D stages?
Like you're just seeing a line.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it's actually going to be like 1-to-1. I think it's going to be more third person.
Okay. So I'm rereading this. Odyssey is a bite-sized bonus experience across the Cap World, Seaside World, and Luncheon Kingdom.
Okay.
And Breath of the Wild is going to be full game, barring the cutscenes.
Full game, barring the cutscenes. And does it say anything about first-person point of view or point of view?
Yes, that's what it is. It's going to be first-person point of view for both of them.
But it's going to be a bite-sized version
for Mario Odyssey, so it's going to be specific content catered to that.
Which is okay.
Because first-person Breath of the Wild I can see working.
I could. You could...
Well, it's like Skyrim.
It's a better Skyrim.
It's a better Skyrim.
Although, depending on how you mod it.
although fear of heights is going to be a problem when you're doing some of the glitches.
It was a big problem without the glitches. For a lot, I know that there were some acrophobic people who were like, when they were looking at some of the clips.
But it's going to be great to actually when you actually shield surf.
Oh hell yeah!
That's going to be
Cowabunga, dude.
And then when you crash it, you immediately transition to Welcome to Jackass.
You were doing
I am Steve-O, welcome to Jackass.
You were doing a Welcome to Jackass the moment you put on the VR headset. Who are you kidding?
Yeah, fair enough.
I despise VR. I despise it. I get motion sick. I despise it.
I wouldn't use it in a public setting.
Did you see Sony's Nintendo Direct of sorts? Their version of a Direct?
No.
It was mostly VR.
Okay.
Fuck!
Alright.
No!
Yeah.
I am not a huge proponent of any kind of device that, whether it means to or not, makes you ill.
Alright. Our next story goes into the realm of streaming, and it seems like we have a new contestant in the game. It is Disney are entering the streaming service.
Oh, joy.
We've got this pie, we've got this pie, we got this pie. How many more can we dip our finger into, I wonder?
Well, Bob Iger has plenty of thumbs to do that with.
That is true.
So starting November 12th at a monthly cost of $6.99 or a yearly cost of $69.99, because apparently we can't charge the extra penny. You can go ahead and stream Star Wars, Pixar movies, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, The Simpsons, and more, all from the comfort of your streaming device.
I hope they do better than what Blockbuster did.
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord.
Did you know? There's still only one Blockbuster left, or did that finally close down too?
No, I think there's still only one in Alaska somewhere.
No, the one in Alaska is gone.
Gone? Okay.
There's one more, but it's somewhere else. I forget where.
Okay.
There's a whole video detailing how it went down.
It's like the last white rhino.
Subscribers will be able to download
I
and
think
stream
that's
content offline, customize parental settings, and set up profiles for individual people. All the animated classics, as well as the entire Pixar library, will be available within the year. No word what they're going to be switching out, if they're going to do a rotation series like Netflix, or if they're just going to dump everything on there.
I've got my doubts. Disney, as a company, does try to base itself on quality, but this is a new...
Base itself on quality.
Hang on.
They used to.
They used to. I don't know what they're doing now.
They're doing nothing but remakes and redos, and it's all soulless cash grabs.
Now, I would like to remind you guys, there was a time that certain video cassettes or DVDs would come out for release, and then the tagline was, buy it now before it goes away in the vault.
Yep.
So, I'm curious
And
to see how they're going to do it.
Yeah. And
But
then,
I'm
they
just-
released it, years later for the Diamond Edition, the Platinum Edition.
So I'm not entirely sure how they're going to be setting this up, but it will be a thing. They are also including in the streaming service. They've got the Disney Channel series, so everything from Lizard McGuire, That's So Raven, Kim Possible. No word about any of the things like Power Rangers SPD or the Digimon Frontier series, some of the other more obscure shows that they hosted.
Wait, they hosted Digimon Frontier?
Yeah,
I thought that was Jetix.
is it?
Jetix was a part of the Disney franchise.
Oh my god, I'm an idiot.
Yes, but
I thought that was Disney XD, or was it
Okay.
also the same thing?
I know I was thinking it was part of ABC for a second, but I think I remember.
Disney owns ABC.
Oh well, there you go. So they haven't set any specificity to any of those, but wait and see.
I was going to say, Disney owns ABC. Why do you think there were so many sitcoms that had a Disney episode back in the day?
Good point. All right. So among some of the things we have from there was PAX that occurred since the last podcast.
Right.
And amongst the things we were able to that were released was we have new King of Cards gameplay.
Which looked pretty interesting.
So
Alrighty, so we've made comparisons before about how each game kind of relates to a different game. You could call Shovel Knight DuckTales on steroids. You could call Plague Knight, well, how would you call Plague Knight?
I would, since it focuses more on explosives and projectiles, Explosion Man.
Okay, Explosion Man.
Yeah.
And then Spectre Knight was basically Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, that's pretty much the case.
What are we looking at now?
Sumo fights.
What?
Pretty much. King Knight's slamming his golden glitter into everything.
I'm
Oh,
trying to remember what
And also spinning like a top whenever he jumps on an enemy.
it's kind of like an inversion of Shovel Knight. So his deal is that for his mobility gimmick, he does shoulder charges, and he can do so at
Wario World.
Wario World. There you go. I knew there was a shoulder charge. So he's Wario.
He's Wario.
So Shovel Knight can do shoulder tackles that give him an area.
King Knight.
King Knight, sorry. King Knight has the ability to do shoulder tackles, to do aerial, to get him into a top spin, which lets him do his aerial shenanigans.
Which allows him to do the downward, like, shovel hit of enemies.
Okay, I do remember seeing that.
Instead of having magic attacks or demonic essence like Spectre Knight or any of the other two previous knights, King Knight has vigor. And he can use these things to wield different armaments. He has a healing hammer that, when it hits opponents, releases hearts. He has a... I'm trying to remember what he has. I know he has like a stomp. He has a sword that lets him do a rising slash and then can combo it into a downward slash.
Which is on fire, if I recall, right?
Which is on fire. And of course, he also has his... he should have his trademark...
Scepter?
Zantetsuken slash, where he just charges across the room.
Which is awesome.
In a straight line.
I am really looking forward to abusing that son of a bitch.
His collectible is medals, as opposed to we don't know if musical notes. I think musical notes are coming back, but as opposed to like say the Red Skulls from Spectre Knights, King Knight has medals that he has to earn in order as his personal collectible.
All right, and remind me again, what's the main story drive behind all this?
This is effectively how King Knight came into power in Pridemore Keep.
Okay.
So a pseudo prequel in the vein of Spectre Knight, but it's also implied to be somewhat tongue in cheek.
It's King Knight. It's complete total shit compared to Plague Knight, which was romance based, and Spectre Knight, which was edge.
Well, this is supposed to be the Super Mario World 2 of Shovel Knight. 2, not 3.
Oh, sorry.
Doki Doki Panic.
You said Doki Doki, and I immediately put literature.
I know you did. I know you did. But
that is horrifying.
To put it simply,
I should rewatch that. Let's play of that.
To put it simply, expect comedy.
Oh, of course, it's King Knight. The king is camp.
So there are two.
The decadent dandy.
So there are 2 levels that were played at PAX. The first is Pridemore Keep, which implied to be very early on, contrary to where you would think it would be the end of the game.
I do have to ask, does he still ride a mecha?
Who rides a mecha?
The king.
Yes, the king still has his power armor.
Yes!
Power armor, not a mecha.
Yeah, it's power armor.
The second level is Truple Pond.
I have to see this.
It is a playable level where you have to navigate snaking serpents. That you basically think like...
Okay, it's basically they're like long snake axolotls. You hit them and then they move back, and then they eventually just coil back into place.
I have got to see this.
It is quite bizarre. At least for the Truple Pond level, they cut it off relatively early instead of...
fighting the Trouble King
instead
as a
of
boss.
having a boss fight, you grab a golden brass ring and rats carry you out of the level. So it might be one of the mini levels that we might have been seeing?
Yeah, it might be like a mini level, like those things in early Shovel Knight where you would encounter like those enemies.
Or for the treasure hoarding after you get an item.
Right, but a little bit longer.
But a little bit longer for the demo's sake. So we'll have to just wait and see, but rest assured it holds up in quality and it should be a challenge.
Yep.
Should be fun.
All right.
Next up on our list... No Straight Roads.
Rebels against the EDM agenda.
Yeah,
we saw a trailer for this.
Yeah, so this I want to say it's either Thai or it's Korean, based on the maker of it.
Yeah,
but
regardless, it's an Asian game.
Let me just tightly bring this up tightly.
The plot is basically EDM is taking over the world, and 2 characters are trying to fight it off with rock.
Which sounds great as a concept.
Oh yeah, and the music is fantastic.
When you can hear it.
My problem is the voice acting, which is hokey at best.
Well, you're already dealing with a translation problem right off the bat.
Yeah.
If I am hearing this correctly, and it is in fact an Asian game.
Yeah, it's either Thai or Korean.
Then you are going to run into that problem right off the bat.
Malaysian. They are Malaysian.
Oh. Malaysian.
Okay. Which would explain why it's in English, but there's a very thick accent for some of the characters.
Yeah, because I actually do have a friend from Malaysia, and like he speaks normally. Like he types normally.
The lead designer for Metronomic, the game company, is Juan Hasmer. Reido, this should be a familiar name to you.
Hosmer?
Because he was a lead designer in Final Fantasy 15.
Interesting.
Really?
So, this game should be coming out sometime this year, although the demo and trailer we watched says April. That's probably not likely. It's probably going to be May or June, depending on how much polish they need.
Because they need to polish it up because the non-animated cutscenes, like the actual in-engine movements, janky and stuttery as fuck.
And there's some other little things in there too that were janky.
Also, the way the mouth moved in like the animated cutscenes kind of weirded me off because the mouth was moving more than it should have. Just kept moving.
Remember that they can't hear the parts where you're actually not talking.
I know,
but also, yeah, I mean, we could just be having an issue of they made everything for Malaysia, and they just said, we'll just put the English text the English language over it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, well, if that's the case, then I have problems with that first pianist fight where she was like just in one pose one moment and the other pose in another second.
Mm.
I think I kind of hinted at what my major criticisms of this are. And they are, again, the music is fantastic when you can hear it.
So
there's a lot of chaotic background noise and character voiceover over what should be the core of the game, which is the music.
Because I was hearing a piano concert turn into an EDM fight. And that was awesome.
Yes, it was. And then... Motherfucker, just let us hear the song! Like, if you're going to, like, try to charm us over with the power of rock, god damn it! Let the guitar do the talking for you!
I'd rather have it, like, so instead of hearing her yell, it was like, you were hearing, like, bong, like, from the guitar itself.
Do you really want that? Because then that's going to interfere with the audio quality. At least you can then tell what the difference is between the hits and what's supposed to be the music.
Yeah.
Because the gameplay mechanic not only involves not only just your traditional platform fighting, it's also rhythm and time based.
Yeah.
Which if you start throwing out too many sounds that interfere with that, then you have problems mechanically, as opposed to just aesthetically.
It's both. I have a problem with both.
Well, you have a problem with both then.
So just turn.
I see potential.
So just turn the voice acting turn the voice acting off and turn the sound effects.
Well, just keep it at the original. Go sub. Don't go dub. That's the easiest answer to it.
Yes, but until we do see that, for now, my vote is all hail the EDM overlords. Their music is currently better at the moment.
I think you're being a little too picky for this company, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Anyway,
I'll give them a shot.
After that, DMC5 released The Bloody Palace on April 1st, and we're apparently going to be getting a board game of The Bloody Palace?
Yeah, this is from Steamforged Game. These are the guys who did the Resident Evil 2 remaster board game and the Dark Souls board game.
Okay, so they know what the fuck they're doing.
Yes, they know what the fuck they're doing. So these guys are going to go ahead. This is from Steamforged Games. They're releasing their Kickstarter campaign for the Bloody Palace board game, which is, of course, based off of the video game.
So I'm guessing it's going to be like 100 levels or something.
I'm not sure if you want to do 100 levels, depending on how quick it is.
What I'm thinking is, like, it could be a certain number of levels, and, like, what you fight there is randomly generated.
Right, of course.
Like, you... Almost like...
Well, that's what the card decks are for. It's basically everything is built around the deck. And then the deck represents the random elements.
Okay.
And so it's going to work something like that, but it's just going to be a good product. And once they release the Kickstarter, there will be more details about how that works.
All right, moving away from that. Oh, good, more crap.
Hasbro confirms the plans to make a second Power Rangers movie.
Question: will the donuts make a comeback?
The donuts?
I never...
Okay, so a little bit of history. Apparently, the core of the movie in the latter half ended up being taken over by its advertising.
Oh, they had
To the point where
emoji. They had emoji movie syndrome.
Kind of. It was basically Rita Repulsa is now trying to take over the world so that she can get the fucking Krispy Kreme donut recipe.
Are you shitting me?
I kind of wish I wasn't. But at the same time, it must have been freaking hilarious to see that level of bullshit go off in the theater.
To be fair, there were some really stupid side plots in the original series.
Oh yeah, like trying to take down the internet or something.
Not even that. Just like I'm trying to remember. I don't even remember some of the original episodes.
It's been so long. I think our brains kind of just melded everything that happened, like in the school environment, into one. For the most part, it's like kids do something in school, Bulk and Skull show up, more shenanigans at school, giant monster appears.
Right. Like the only one I can actually remember very clearly as being a stupid plot is from Zeo, and it's that the robot enemies from that time basically steal Tommy and Catherine's voices so that they can only sing an opera to annoy them and to make it impossible for them to do summons.
I remember one, I don't know if this was original Power Rangers or Zeo, where they went back in time to the Wild West.
No, that is the original. That I do remember that one.
And that raises questions about what Power Rangers...
Oh, that raises so many questions.
If you're questioning Power Rangers and its solidity...
Then you are watching the wrong series. Go watch the Super Sentai then, because it is much more dramatic there.
Yes.
The reason we are actually stalling is because we actually have no other details aside from this.
Yeah,
They've only confirmed Bryan Cranston is going to come back, and that is the extent of the roster.
Hopefully they make better use of him here than in the Godzilla 2014 movie.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
I still like that movie.
Yeah, I mean, no, but...
Yeah, and then there's stuff in that movie that I like whenever Godzilla's on screen.
I didn't mind the people scenes, because here's the thing. That's a Godzilla movie! That is one for one a Godzilla movie.
So
it
why
has
did
as
they
much...
fix it?
Why would they fix what isn't broken?
What? Wait. You're implying that the originals weren't broken?
No. They're perfect as well.
Oh, I've got some serious critic bombs to drop on this series then.
While we're going over...
It's stupid fun.
Banana oil.
While we're going over movie stuff, we have the ticket... As of 3 weeks ago, and even then it's probably gone more, Avengers Endgame ticket pre-sales have already tripled Infinity Wars.
Oh, hell yeah. After an ending like last time, people are dying to know how it ends.
And dying.
Half of us are remaining.
It is going to be 3 hours long, so I hope you guys brought a catheter.
Catheter or an empty water bottle. Just zip.
I'm pretty sure that counts as public indecency anyway, so I wouldn't...
No one can see!
Well, you hope no one can see. Bear in mind that that people have gotten thrown out for attempting to consummate relationships inside of a movie theater.
Oh yeah, I've seen plenty of news things.
Stupid news with that.
Stupid news where people were jerking off in the...
jerking off, consummating relationships.
In Florida?
All of them.
A majority of them.
There you go.
You know, that's a thing. Here we go. Here's something we can talk about. Netflix announces Cowboy Bebop live series has most of their lineup.
All right, who's
moving on?
No. You have to listen to this.
Okay.
John Cho will be starring as Spike Spiegel.
John Cho?
Okay.
Mustafa Shakir, aka Luke Cage, is Jet Black.
Okay.
They have Daniela Pineda from Jurassic World's Fallen Kingdom as Faye Valentine.
Okay.
And Alex Hassel will be Vicious.
At the very least, they're going to have a good-looking cast. But my question is...
Here's John Cho for your recollection, Radar.
The question is...
Spike Spiegel's Jewish! He's not Chinese!
I mean, it's kind of ambiguous.
No, his last name is Spiegel.
Yes, I know, but he also could have Chinese origins.
No, it is.
It is the Chinese version of the future.
My only problem is that there's a track record here.
Yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist remake, Death Note remake, fucking Mob Psycho remake.
I would still take this over.
There was a live action Mob Psycho.
Yes, and it was ass.
How did we hear this one? How did we miss that one?
Well, I think it might have been done in the either Japanese or Korean.
Yeah, it was
circuits,
Japanese.
but it was still there, and it was still ass.
However, I would say that this is better than freaking Light Turner.
Or how about ScarJo as Kusanagi in Ghost in the Shell?
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson. We still have that. So
If the movie's good, then it does not
It's
matter.
not good. Ghost in the Shell live action was horrible.
Yeah, they I don't know
Here's
how.
the thing.
I don't know how they
could-
butchered that.
Here's the thing. Actually, ScarJo as Kusanagi, not an issue.
That's not the issue. The problem is the movie around her.
The movie around her and the fact that ScarJo can't act for shit.
Either way, this is
I saw her in that fucking movie about her unlocking 100% of her brain.
Oh God, Lucy was terrible.
Oh God.
I think
But-
my dad almost punched me in the face because I was sitting next to him during that movie. Here's a little thing for our viewers, in case it hasn't been noted. I had never shut up during a movie. Never. Ever. If something good's going on, that's when I shut up. But if it's not, I have been known to yell out across the theater, "What?" And that moment, by the way, was the milking scene from Star Wars Last Jedi. What?
I just should mention for everyone who's panicking right now, this is Netflix.
Oh,
that doesn't give them a
makes it-
fucking pass because of the fucking Death Note move. Was it a movie or a live action? It was
it was
a movie.
live action with CG.
No, I was asking if it was a series or a movie, and I think it was a movie.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was a movie. They couldn't do it in a series. They should have done it in a
They should
series.
have done it in
They
a
could have
series.
survived if it was a series.
It would have survived. If it was
Here's
a
the
series.
thing. I hate the second half of the anime of Death Note.
Oh, everyone does. Don't get us wrong.
Why?
After L dies, spoilers.
Oh yeah, because
They
because
bring in
Eldi's
Nier and Mello, and while Nier is technically...
superior.
He's a lot less fun.
Sure.
God damn it, he's a lot less
But that's
fucking
not.
fun.
But,
He's a plague of wood, and Mello dies halfway through.
but Nier and Mello are not the point of the second part of the series. It's about Light's descent into madness.
Sure.
If anything, it's all the more sweeter that he gets taken down by shit-tier versions of his most famous rival.
Well, if you look at it critically like that, sure.
That's
but
how I enjoy
remember
it.
that you still have to sit through it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I'm on light side most of the time.
Yes, because you enjoy the megalomaniac.
No, because if I had a fucking Death
I
Note,
know
half
you-
the population would be dead by
I know
now.
you would, but let's move on from that in your power fantasies. All right. So we actually have a release date for Detective Pikachu. It is
All
May
right.
10th.
May 10th.
That is a...
That is Mexican Mother's Day.
Okay, this is going to be a make or break movie.
It
If
is.
they do it right and they don't shit on itself,
You know what we have to do?
We
we have to do it.
We have to go see it on Thursday.
Yes, we do.
Alright.
Yeah, there's going to be a midnight release. Well, not midnight, but there's going to be one at like 9:30 for us.
There's the premiere release.
Yes, we are going to have to see it.
We'll have to
Yeah.
see
For the
that.
love of God, we need to stay away from Twitter,
But
YouTube.
in addition to that, everyone who pre-orders their tickets is getting a collectible Detective Pikachu Pokemon card.
Which is awesome.
Which reminds me of when I saw Pokemon the first movie and got the Mew card.
Everyone remembers the Mew card.
Though, I'm desperately,
Oh, wait, was that-
desperately hoping...
Yeah, no, it was the Mew card.
I know, I was wondering if that was for the first one or if that was for 2000.
First one, of course, the first one. The 2000, remember, was Lugia and the Three Birds.
Oh, right.
So, I'm going to say I am desperately hoping that this goes a lot better than the last Pokemon movie I saw in the theater.
I will mention, however, that the preview of the Detective Pikachu card, not holographic.
It is not holographic, but it's
Yeah.
still one of a kind.
Yes. Lastly, this is the little thing that I've been lolling about for the past couple of weeks or so.
Do tell.
Not Pokemon. Yu-Gi-Oh players will now be disqualified for terrible hygiene and eating at the tables.
Have you brushed your teeth, sir? I forgot this morning. You're done.
No, it's based. I'm not going to lie.
It's not that draconian, but it's more like we are not going to become the butts of the nerd community.
We are not going to become melee players.
Oh.
Yeah, that's really what it's about.
Oh.
That's what it's about.
Oh no.
Is we are going to take a stand. We are Konami addicts. We have decency.
As much decency as you can with Konami.
Well, everyone inside Konami is okay. It's the Konami itself that seems to be like the
Right.
eldritch entity that sucks out the souls of its...
Yeah, but yeah, it's basically clean up your act. No eating at the table while you're dueling.
Don't be gross.
Don't be gross. Yeah.
Put on some goddamn deodorant, you for fuck's sake. You're a 20-year-old man-child.
I mean, they're probably probably our age, if not older. So
Oh god,
there you go. But that's really it's not going to be a military review. Some people feared that online air quotes.
So,
But it's more about just like, look, we need standards.
Yeah.
If you guys
fine, but I'll also throw out a little counter argument. What if players start using the hygiene card to try and throw out their opponents?
I mean, there have been stupider things that have been done to get people disqualified. Such as, which leads to the actual important rule change that has people up in arms,
Okay.
which is that players can no longer verify cards in the opponent's hand or decks. Which is to say that people could effectively cheat without you having good reason to suspect they are cheating.
Oh shit.
So verify how.
So for say for example, I have a card that says if you have to discard all copies in your hand and in your decks.
Okay.
So I say I play the card and I say declare X card that you have to remove.
Okay.
And you say no, I don't have that card. I cited it out or I didn't play it.
Yeah.
I can't call a judge and tell him check your hand and deck because I think you're cheating. It would have to be something like I play it, you say no, and then you play the card I just called.
Yeah.
Which has happened, which is what many people are fearing is the problem. And it's worse because in situations after the first round, it can always be, I cited it out.
Yeah.
Or I didn't play it in this set.
Yeah, I slided it in between matches.
Or I just drew it. Like for other cards that rip it out of a hand, you can say, I just drew it the next time around.
Yeah, because you got like a side deck where you can interchange cards between matches.
So there is a legitimate fear of more people cheating when it comes to the World Tournament.
Okay, we can keep the hygiene rule, but this one needs revision.
Yeah, that's what many people in the community are saying in terms of and those cards that I just mentioned that require the opponent to discard and to effectively play fair are basically considered worthless, even though they weren't seen in use.
Oh, you mean like Yujo Friendship or something?
Not Yujo Friendship, because that makes you reveal their hand, because then you have no choice. But I'm trying to remember what the card is from the discussion, but basically ones that basically say that don't have a "you must show your hand" clause.
Ah.
So just as a example there.
Yeah, and can you still look at the card and read it to...
Actually, that's the other thing, is that yes, you can read cards that are on the table, but if the opponent says because of a card effect, I set this card.
Yeah.
Once they have said it, they are not obligated to show you what that card is. So if you forget a while back what that is, he is under no obligation to show it to you.
God, that pisses me off.
So there are other rules that are rife for cheating, but I'm not going to say that there's going to be the hit squad with the piss super soaker that's going to go around and shoot people to go ahead and get them DQ'd from their matches. That is not a thing. And would give me a couple of weeks until I'm proven wrong.
Well, it'll probably happen in Florida, so, it's just a matter of time.
I mean, I don't think the Nationals, they do have, national tournaments and regional tournaments in Florida, but I'm not sure if that's going to actually happen, but wait and see.
Oh, God.
We'll have to wait for the next tournament, and I'll let you guys know.
But yeah, I was just... For this news article, I just kept thinking, so we're now a step above Melee fighters.
Yes, everyone take that good step above Melee.
Yeah.
Now,
Although I am so happy that Melee is out of Evo.
yeah, I can imagine that.
Now all the Evo players must shower and learn the art of Smash Ultimate.
No, what I was going to say was the next step in Konami's list in elevating their posterity is removing all the Ahiga shirts from the tournament.
No, I think the thing that would elevate Konami is getting their soul back.
Making good games, decently stopping the.
How about making an anime series that doesn't make me want to pull my teeth?
How about selling?
What's wrong with Castlevania?
No. I'm talking about Vrains.
Oh. What do you mean Vrains is bad?
Vrains is bad, Arc V is bad, and so is Zexel.
Okay. Zexel I know. Arc V does a lot of time travel dimension bullshit.
The ending is literally people laughing and tap dancing on a grave. And I am not even joking on that.
Arc V or Zexel?
Arc V.
Okay, I can see where you're going with Arc V, but they retcon that in the credits. What is your issue with Arc V? With Vrains. What is your issue with Vrains?
All the characters, to be honest.
Okay,
they're boring.
Okay, that's another issue then. What's coming up?
Also, the plot is complete and utter ass.
Well, any Yu-Gi-Oh plot is complete and utter ass.
No. I will fight you on that. I will fight you.
Maybe we should revive that series.
Maybe we
were
should.
Supposed to do.
Yeah.
What's coming up on the channel?
Let's see. What's coming up on the channel? More Kingdom Hearts and
the podcast, hopefully on a regular basis.
Hopefully on a regular basis because we missed last week and I actually forgot to upload that Thursday. So sorry. Let me think.
I think that's just it.
That's pretty much it. So keep an eye out for more Kingdom Hearts. Keep an eye out for the podcast. Keep an eye out for any updates we may do.
All right. This has been Leo Force.
This has been Reido.
And this is Legend Hunter signing out.
Later, guys.
Ciao.